What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Why school shootings keep happening, continue to happen. So, in light of the one that just happened in Michigan, I think, once again, we have to talk about this. And there are a few factors in this. Rule number one, parenting. See, your kids that are out of pocket, you're not correcting them. And your kids that are getting bullied, you're not teaching them self-defense. So this is a bad situation when you got two different styles of parenting basically attacking each other. Second, schools have a fake zero tolerance policy. See, when certain students do certain things, it's zero tolerance. But schools for decades have had the bullies are not under the zero tolerance policy. It's so egregious that you make movie depictions of what goes on in high schools with teenagers because bullies are just a normal part of the ecosystem in a school, to the point that teachers, vice principals, counselors, other students know this is about to go down, but somehow the bullies keep staying. They get a million shots. And then these kids snap, and then we don't know what happened. You know exactly what happened. Now, third, these shootings predominantly happen in suburban schools, where you assume that because these kids are from the suburbs, they're not violent. When, in fact, they're more violent than kids from the hood. The reason why I say that is because there's no consequences for their violence. There's no consequences for their criminal behavior. See, it's the suburban schools that can fight all the time and just go home. It's the suburban schools that can have rampant drug problems but nobody ever get arrested. It's the suburban schools who, how can I put this, who are out here racing cars and doing burnouts, and all you see is screeched tires and smoke, and really nothing ever happens. And even if it does happen, nobody's made an example out of it, just kept on the hush. So you basically enable the environment to be more, how can I say, cultivate criminality. You're teaching these kids the stuff they're going to get away with as adults, because that's basically what it is. Because a lot of kids in suburban schools, they're accustomed to getting away with a criminal behavior that they take into their adulthood and subsequently get away with it in their adulthood. Another thing, too many of these kids are soft. See, it goes from I'm shooting bullies to I'm shooting girls who didn't want to talk to me, or who maybe were the girlfriends of the bullies, or the girls who got a kick out of a guy being bullied. You get what I'm saying? So now you create an environment where it's not just a target, it's a bunch of soft targets that you were all involved. Or maybe, I had a crush on you and you rejected me. Or you embarrassed me, because the guys might have bullied them, the girls might have embarrassed them. So, you know what? I'm going to lose it. And you're part of my list. Let's just say it that way. Another aspect of this is the kids don't really talk about it like that. The adults don't listen to the kids. It was a video of a young man and his mother, and and his cousins. He said he didn't go to school today because he knew something was up. He couldn't figure it out, but the rumors had been spreading. And the issue with that is, there's always something's possibly going on, but we're talking about children. We're talking about children. We're talking about kids. So rumors spread all the time, they say, right? But just because rumors spread all the time doesn't mean, oh, there's going to be a shooting. Oh, because kids use all of these things to get out of tests predominantly, because they'll say I'm offended or I'm affected by something and I don't want to go to school, but it's really to avoid the responsibility of their schoolwork. And then they'll say it because something's really going down. Now, because of this, the kids are unprotected. And what I mean by unprotected is this level of vague honesty and dishonesty creates an environment where nobody knows if this is real or fake. It's the boy who cried wolf until he gets eaten, type of situation. So it's going to continue to happen. And the other thing I got to bring up is parents. Parents have a bad, buy guns, but don't watch where their guns are at. I don't understand how you can have all these guns, but you don't, know where your guns are at. You don't know if your guns are missing or not. You get what I'm saying? So you should have your guns in an atmosphere where your kid can't reach them, even if they're a teenager. But even the handguns. But that's just my thought on this. Oh, another thing. People get laxed on security. See, prior to the pandemic, security was tight. Pandemic happened, people got lax. Now, certain schools still have these security protocols, but it's more for adults coming in than students coming in. Because you shouldn't have to pat down these students. Yes, you should, especially the suburban ones. They got a profile at this particular point. But since you don't want to profile them for whatever reason, and this is going to continue to happen. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.